Meow if you do and meow if you don't. It's hard to figure out what's going on inside your feline friend's mind, especially considering their vocabulary is limited to, well, one word. But who says all communication has to be verbal? Body language, tail language, groans, moans. Experts have deduced various methods to communicate with cats in a bid to understand them better. And now you can too, from perfumes and belly rubs to loud noises and defiant behavior. Let's look at things your cat probably hates that you do and wishes you'd stop doing. Number 12. Dressing them up. Even the most well-meaning of pet parents can anger their pets from time to time. What you might consider as a fun activity for you and your cat might actually be frustrating for them, amusing just to you. We're talking about dressing them up in tight, restrictive, and costumey outfits. You've been eye-matching outfits for you and your feline companion to wear on Halloween, but your pet has probably been dreading that day. Not only is this annoying, but dressing pets up as tight, over-the-top outfits suffocates them, restricts their movement, and might even give them a few cuts and bruises. Trust us, your cat does not want to dress up all quirky and cute for your amusement. However, if you're dressing your pet up for winters or draping a raincoat over them, that's another thing. Number 11. Constant baths. You might think it's absolutely necessary to shower at least once a day, twice if you're really up for it, but your pet could do without the constant bathing. It comes as no secret that cats hate to be bathed. However, we've excused it as being something necessary for their well-being. Not entirely, because while maintaining their hygiene is crucial, cats do a fairly good job at it themselves. You might have noticed cats licking themselves all day long. This is their way of grooming themselves, and yes, it's effective. This isn't to say you shouldn't bathe your cat, but that they could do without being dragged to the tub every so often. However, if your cat is obese, old, and has a medical condition that precludes them from grooming themselves as frequently as they should, then you can go ahead and bathe them yourself more often. Number 10. Punishments. It goes without saying your cat doesn't want to be punished. We've come to a point where we feel like punishment is absolutely necessary to properly train our pets, but it's actually the opposite. You could sit your cat down for hours and explain why it's wrong for them to cut up your throw pillows, or you could yell at them for doing it, neither of which will make a difference. Why? Because your pet doesn't understand you. You need to be able to show them which behaviors are considered good and which ones aren't. For example, if you reward them for eating their food without causing a mess, they'll actively try to eat less messily. This is known as positive reinforcement. As opposed to negative contingencies, positive ones are actively sought out by pets, which ultimately trains them into being more obedient pets. Number 9. Sudden changes. Cats are creatures of habit. They don't take too kindly to change. We're not talking about living in one home forever just because it frustrates your cat, but you should avoid creating changes wherever they might be considered unnecessary. For example, if your cat is used to having their food bowl in the left corner of the room, then moving it to the right corner could be unnecessary and frankly frustrating for your feline friend. If they don't actively try to move the bowl themselves, cats will groan and snicker at you every time you put their food down in the wrong corner of the room. Number 8. Belly rubs. Let it be known far and wide, cats don't like belly rubs. Yes, there are a few instances wherein they'd offer their bellies up for rubs themselves, but if your cat isn't asking for them, then they hate you giving unsolicited belly rubs. We assume felines would enjoy belly rubs because their domestic counterparts, canines, are seemingly obsessed with them. However, it all comes down to their ancestral and preying habits. Cats protect their bellies because they're inadvertently trying to protect their vital organs from harm. Rubbing their bellies unsolicitedly could be taken as a sign of attack or defiance, neither of which would help build a better relationship with your pet. Number 7. Loud noises. Cats are incredibly sensitive to noise. Their ears perk up at the slightest of sound that they need complete silence to be able to sleep. Not surprisingly, they don't enjoy loud noises, music, or even you talking in a higher tone than usual. Loud noises can disrupt your cat's me time. It can cause them to lose sleep and focus. They'll stay agitated and annoyed and might lash out on you. You'll be left wondering what went wrong. Well, maybe it's that brand new surround system that you just bought. Number 6. Strong smells. Felines are incredibly receptive to change, one of which might be a strong scent sprayed in their territory. And yes, in this context, we're talking about your home being their territory because, after all, it's their home just as much. Just like you'd want to be comfortable in your space, your cat wants to be comfortable in theirs. If you spray a pungent or a strong scent in your home, your cat will pick up on the smell and get agitated. Recall that cats hate having to adapt to new surroundings. By creating a trigger for them in their usual spot, you're effectively taking away their comfort from them. And trust us, no one wants that. Number 5. Playing with their tail. If someone tries to grab onto a part of you that's either not in your line of vision or while you're distracted, you're bound to respond with annoyance or at least shock. Cats are the same. Just multiply their annoyance by 10. It's hard to resist grabbing their tail and not playing with it, but it's even harder living with a pet that absolutely loathes you. Cats aren't fond of people grabbing their tails and pretending it's a plaything. It's not, and they'd really appreciate it if you'd stop. Number 4. Waking them up. You might have a 9 to 5, but your cat couldn't care less about the economy. It's unfair to wake your cat up unintentionally, especially since you know how annoying it could be for you if someone were to wake you up ahead of when you're intended to. Maybe your cat wants to take a nap for an hour or hibernate for days. Whatever the case might be, they don't take kindly to being woken up for nothing. This obviously doesn't apply to when you accidentally wake your cat up by walking into the room while they're sleeping. They'll let you get away with that one. Number 3. Stare down. Like we said, not all communication has to be verbal, especially since cats only know one word. Cats therefore reciprocate affection via their actions. One way is through kitty kisses or slow blinks, the alternative to which would be a stare down. Based on their prey instincts, cats know that if something is staring at you, they're probably preparing to fight you. Why? Because that's what a stare down means to them. You might have noticed cats tend to stare straight ahead with their tails wagging slowly whenever they're focused on something, mostly when they're ready to attack. If you stare them down, they'll take that as a threat. Number 2. Picking them up. If your cat is minding its own business, do not pick it up. Your pet is a living being and not a playmate. Sure, they're cute as a button, but that doesn't mean you get to negate their feelings and personal space for your amusement. Cats hate having their personal space invaded, and the most frequent way humans do it is by picking them up unannounced. Number 1. Dismissing their health. There's a difference between owning a pet and becoming a pet parent. As a responsible pet parent, you need to take care of your pet and make sure that all of their needs are being met. Your cat looks at you as someone responsible for feeding them, washing them, and keeping them safe. If you dismiss their health and well-being, they'll start resenting you and the space you two share. What's something you know that cats absolutely loathe? Let us know in the comments section below. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to INFORAMA for more awesome pet content. We'll see you in the next one.